So, moral of the story here, I was wrong. Hi friends. So have you ever gone on Instagram, you go on like the Explore page, and you keep seeing the same brand over and over and over. It's like getting into your head until finally you crack. Hi, that's what happened to me. I'm here to talk to you about this brand that I was so nervous buying this. I'll explain why, but really, let me just get into it. I like going on the Instagram Explore page. One of the things that I kept seeing were these looks, these makeup looks that had these neon pastel colors, and they were very pigmented and smooth and really beautiful, and something that I really had not seen very often. It was something that was unique. And if you know me, unique is something that I'm always immediately attracted to. It's all I think about, like get tunnel vision. So this particular brand, this particular pastel neons kept getting my attention because I kept clicking them. Instagram's like, oh, she must like that. So it's constantly showing me these different Instagram influencers that are using this brand. It's showing me the brand, all this stuff. And eventually I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna bite the bullet because I had to know. If you're wondering, because we're like 2 minutes into recording this and I haven't even said the name of the brand yet, this brand is called Makeup a Murder, and it's kind of really clever because everything here is meant to look like it's from a crime scene. Right now, the main things that they have are 2 packs of pigments. One are those pastel neons I was talking about. The other are full-on neons, and then they have a makeup palette. They had this all as a set for like a discounted price, and so, you know, I just was like, let's just do it. It took me so long to bite the bullet with this because I have been burned in the past when it comes to neon eyeshadows and pastel neon eyeshadows. A lot of the times these look really cool, but they are such a pain to work with. They just aren't smooth, they are patchy, they require a lot of TLC, and a lot of time, it's not worth it. At the end of the day, it's really not. Finally, like what made me cave was that I kept seeing 2 things. First is I kept seeing people doing swatches, and not like your traditional Instagram swatches where they're all lined off, packed on, and really not a reliable source of how the eyeshadow is going to perform, but just on-camera swatches. And when you see on-camera swatches, it can give you a really good idea of how nice and smooth the pigment actually is, because you can tell if it's catching, if it's chalky, if the pigment's not sticking. There's a lot of things that you can kind of get out of that. The other thing was that I saw a lot of people that were doing these looks that just were blowing me away. There was a lot of really cool ones that were all sorts of colors mixed together and just beautiful, but the ones I liked the most were just one color on the lid with lashes, and they looked amazing. And if it could just one color can be just that consistent and that beautiful, I had to know. Let me get into showing you what all of this looks like. So the first thing that I love about this is it's a really cool unboxing experience. Everything comes looking like it's from a crime scene. The pigments come in sealed in bubble wrap, and they have a sticker on it that says sealed evidence, do not tamper, to be opened by authorized personnel only. And I mean, it gives you the vibes, right? Even the palette has this crime scene trace evidence eyeshadow palette. But when I opened this, I thought it was really neat because this is volume 1, paint chips. So all of the colors in here have different names like the den, bedroom, dining, master, garage, kitchen, basement, bath, minivan, the kind of things you would look for at a crime scene and getting, you know, evidence and all that stuff. So it's just sort of really keeping it in the theme, which makes it really fun. For the pigments, they're called Poison, and they're in these little glass vials that have a little cork at the top, and they have the little Poison logo. I love the idea of it, I guess, and I love the way that it looks, and it's just very cute, and it's something I would want on display. However, I'm not sure how much I love it as far as like a application style. Generally, I'm not a huge fan of this trend lately to have pigments in these really tall, thin glasses. What you end up having to do is to pour out the product onto something, your hand, or on a mixing plate or something, and then apply it, which is just more hassle. They have like this little cork thing, and I was definitely worried about that because it's not a screw cap. But these are rubber. They really do seem like they're in there, but they are glass, so definitely be careful with them anyways. Don't just throw them in a drawer because that would definitely create a mess. So the first colors I really want to try out here, you know, the reason I got these are these pigments. So these pigments, there is 6 colors here. Oh my gosh, and exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, that. Oh my god. I literally just case in point everything right there, didn't I? That is so funny. I am a mess. I am literally covered in this orange pastel, and I don't even know. Oh, there it went. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I didn't even do anything except like just this, and it came out. So, moral of the story here, I was wrong. Be very, very careful with these. I don't even have words. It's like, oh my god, I don't even know what to do. I gotta probably change. I don't know, can I see it in this? If I sit up, you can. Ugh. Well, that happened. Here are the swatches of the pastel ones. They're so beautiful. It's awesome. And so there's 6 of them here. I kind of did like a whole rainbow with the application. And then the neon ones, there are 7. And oh my gosh, some of these, like these first 2, this red and the orange, my phone camera won't even pick them up. I posted on my Insta stories last night, and like it wouldn't focus on it because they're so UV. So these will absolutely light up underneath a black light if that's something that you're interested in. So initial first impressions just from simply swatching these. I'm like gonna double down on totally not loving the containers that these pigments come in. They're super cute. They totally look like they could be like a vial of poison, and I love that. But in addition to, you know, the orange pastel one, the cap coming off, applying these even just to a brush, even when I just was like using the cap to kind of roll it off onto my hand to do swatches, it was just super messy. When I was doing swatches of the neon ones, I ended up moving my hand too much, and then the colors kind of got mixed up. Obviously, that's not like an everyday problem you're gonna have when you're, you know, using one at a time with a brush. Even my little makeup area right here has a ton of just it's super colorful and like sprinkly because of all of the way that the packaging is on these. As adorable as these are, I can definitely see myself going on Amazon and buying some containers that are, I don't know how big these containers are, but like something with a screw cap that I can put these in, because they're cool, but this is just not practical. And it sucks because, you know, they're really getting the point across with the theme. It 100% works and it's really, really cool, but I just don't love it for like the actual use of it. Upon swatching, I noticed the way that these feel, it reminds me a lot of cornstarch. If you've ever played with cornstarch before, or you've ever used it, it has this almost like, it's like a powder, but it's almost crunchy, and it's really, really silky. It's strange to try and describe this, but that's kind of what these remind me of, because when you're applying them, when you are kind of blending them out or swatching them, they are very easy to move, but then they weren't sticking as much as I was kind of hoping. I had better luck when I used a brush, not my fingers, and patted it out versus swiping it on. So we will see once I get to applying them to my eyes. I noticed the pastel ones seemed to work a little bit better than the neons. The neons were really, really cornstarchy. They're literally, it's like almost reminds me of dyed cornstarch in the way that they feel. It wasn't super, super consistent. It definitely was nice, and these look nice as far as these swatches go, but they are what neon colors are. You know what I mean? They still act like neon eyeshadows. It doesn't change from what I've experienced with other brands. The eyeshadow palette, though, is really awesome and probably my favorite thing, surprisingly. All of the colors are really nicely pigmented. There's some really interesting colors here, like the really soft yellow, the kitchen colors, just this like buttery kind of shade. The red minivan is really nice. They all have this little bit of a shimmer sheen to them, nothing over the top, but enough to make it so that the colors are super smooth. A lot of the times if something is flat matte, it's not going to blend as nicely. So these shades don't even appear overly shimmery or have like a big sheen. They definitely are like a satin finish, but they're all really smooth. Even the purple color, even the red, those are notoriously not always the best ones to work with. It's really nice. It's really nice. But what we're here for are the pigments. So I'm going to try to apply these onto my eyes. and we're gonna see how this goes. I'm going to be doing one eye with the neons and one eye with the pastels so that we get, the most bang for our buck here. And I've been using, and use this for the swatches as well, the P. Louise base. I'm using it in shade, what is it? 1. But I definitely wanted to use a base with these because I'm not trying to like prove anything with them. I know how neon, I know how pigments work. They're gonna work better if they've got something to hold on to, especially ones like this that they need something to grab onto. Otherwise it's like kind of a waste of time. So with these, what I'm just going to do here so that I can get as many colors as possible is that I'm going to just do my old school rainbow look that I feel like was my like groundbreaking thing from back in the day. And that's going to be a way that I can try all of these colors and hopefully it'll still look cool. I'm gonna try the pastels first, just because, again, that's what I was really excited about. So this first one I'm using is the red, the light pink color. So this is what also is really difficult about this packaging, is that I want this like in the brush, right? And that's so hard to do with the way that the packaging is set up to really like get it into the brush. So what I will do with pigments a lot of the times is I use the lid of the product, of the container, to really kind of get the product into my brush. That's always been something that I do. But with this, it's not really an option. I mean, it kind of is because I can just sort of, use the top of this rubber thing, but it's just not as natural. I don't know. I sound like I'm being first world problem, but I'm playing with neon pigment on YouTube. It kind of is a first world problem. This is gonna be Fallout City. I almost wonder if this is what I should do, is just press it onto my eye first. Yeah, I guess that worked better, right? I've got like neon. It's gonna be really funny to show you guys my shirt after I'm done with this. Okay, so this is clearly the best way, is to get the brush and kind of press it in on the side of the container and then press it onto my eye and just pat, pat, pat. I'm still getting Fallout though. You can see this rainbow. These neons is gonna be crazy though, because the pastels, it's like kind of cute little sprinkliness. The neons are gonna be a mess. So then I'm just going to take a small brush. This is one from Sigma, little baby blending brush, and I'm gonna go just around the edges of each color. It looks cute though, but like, I mean, the fallout down my cheeks is a different story. I'm not even sure. Okay, at least it was easy to brush away. But it's cute. I don't trust the blending aspect though. Like, that's the main thing that I'm like really scared about. A key also with this would be to have one of those little swirly things that you can change the eyeshadow color, so you're not using like 1,000 different brushes. Ooh. Now we're gonna do the neons. I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god. Jesus. Woo! That yellow is out of bounds. Oh my god. That is like I opened a highlighter onto my eyeballs. They just dropped. All I can do is think that they're gonna spill everywhere. That's just nuts. It's so crazy. Oh my god. No, this one has 7. So it includes a pink too, and I'm like, where do I even put that? Okay, so here's what I am finding. Here's what the evidence is showing me here. I am impressed with how freaking crazy bright these are. And I'm also impressed with some of the shades, like this pink. It's blending pretty freaking nice. It's really like nicely blending out. I'm having issues with the yellow more than anything else here. But like you can see, I mean, I'll take a little bit of the pink. And it moves really nicely. It blends really, really nicely, which is great. But you can see with this yellow and the blue, a little bit with the blue, but really the yellow and the orange are the two that are like being a little difficult for me. But the thing that I'm noticing is I think that they would work relatively well by themselves. So I feel like if I was just wanted to do a freaking neon yellow eye that wasn't blending into anything else, it would be okay. It's more the playing with others and blending into other colors that is a little bit more temperamental. We got this, if I just like really, really lightly with a clean brush. Yeah, see, that's the issue too, is that I just lightly did it. Definitely still needs that TLC for sure.
This cake is traditionally a wedding cake.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
This is just comical at this point. Oh my gosh. I went to zoom in because I wanted to show you guys what this neon yellow looks like. And somehow my boobs or my shirt, I don't know, grabbed the neon purple pigment and somehow it fell. The cork came out. Sensing a theme here. And it's all over my chair, my pants, my freaking floor. Like half the bottle. And I can't do anything but laugh at just how spectacularly failing this is. Holy crap. Okay, that was a wild ride. So here are my conclusions, you guys. The packaging on these is dangerous, to say the least. In the hour that I have been playing with these, I have spilled 2 of them, and I have created essentially what looks like a crime scene, a makeup crime scene on my desk. So that's definitely something that is cause for concern, especially if you are like me, who on a good day, you tend to be a little bit clumsy, you're gonna have issues. So I am definitely going to go on Amazon and find some sealable jars that I can put these in because it's not gonna work for me at all. The good news is that after I tried these out in quite a few different ways. First way was on top of an eyeshadow base, a very good eyeshadow base. Some of them worked really well, some of them did not. I also tried on top of a white eyeliner. Worked better, but still found that there was some patchiness. The best way that I found to use these was actually to use them wet. I used this mixing medium from SM. A lot of brands make a mixing medium. You can even use eye drops if you want to. The issue with this though is that you gotta walk a tightrope in finding the right ratio of how much pigment to how much liquid you're using. If you use too much liquid, it ends up being runny and it doesn't apply evenly. It ends up being runny. If you don't use enough liquid, it ends up being very, very patchy and sticking and not moving nicely. So you sort of have to play around to figure out how much pigment you have and how much liquid you have to get it to be that right consistency. But once you find it, I did find that these applied a lot nicer and they were a lot easier to work with. I don't know how well that would be if you were trying to get multiple colors in one look. You probably would just want to have one color you use with the liquid. It's not going to blend as easily if you're trying to blend 2 liquids together. That is definitely an issue, but a lot of these I think would look really cool as just one main color on the lid. That being said, I don't know how I feel about these. I think that the price on them is really reasonable. I just have issues with the packaging here. Packaging aside, the way that these apply for what they are is really pretty impressive. I will say that. The eyeshadow palette was not my main reason for buying it. It was just kind of a nice bonus. The eyeshadow palette will be a lot of fun to play with. I'm going to do a look for Leeshaland.com using those, doing it old school where there's like no editing if you're into that. But for the pigments, I mean, I think that if you do decide to get them, just know that they're going to be more challenging than your traditional pigment, especially ones that have a lot of shimmer in them. These are definitely going to be more challenging and require specific skills and a lot of trial and error to find the right way to get them to work for you. And also be aware that the packaging on these is not super awesome. It is definitely something that is more for the look than it is for the actual use. If I was to use these, like if I was to put these away like I do with the rest of my pigments where I kind of just stack them up or put them in a drawer, I would be scared to do that because if I open or close the drawer like really quickly, what if one of them fell down? What if the cap came off, and then it spilled it everywhere. There's just, I mean, you guys saw, I literally just barely touched it with my shirt or my boobs or my stomach. I don't know what hit it. And the purple one, you know, catapulted towards me and then under my desk. And a lot of the pigment, I mean, it's down to here. A lot of the pigment is gone. So yeah, really what this comes down to is how much you're willing to put into your eyeshadow application. I guess that's where I can leave it. I know that that's not exactly what anyone wants to hear, but they're unique colors. They work well if you put the work in, basically, is where I'm at. These aren't easy. They're the easiest as far as I've found for neon colors, but there's a reason why this is not something that is widely found, so to speak. That's about it for this just freaking mess of a video. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!